day in Canada. The birds are noisy. John's got to get the garden done. It rained lately early this morning, lightly. And everything is looking good. I put some silk flowers up there, but I want to get a vine growing up there. I have to look for a vine. I got to do something with that plastic in the garden. It's got to go. These are my super hot peppers. They're out for the day. Those are the bird's eye peppers. And the fish all look good. Look at how hungry they are. Yeah, the water temperature is finally warmed up. It was almost 60 degrees the other day. And they've been hungry and eating. And this guy here that's biting on my fingers, yeah, he had a scale that was lifted, but it's all better now. I didn't treat him or nothing. I figured it was because of the extra cold winter. And he's all fine. Those large scales on top, I think they call them pearl scales or something, but there was a scale on the side. But he looks good. It's all gone back to normal. I'm of the believer that if your pond water is healthy, the fish will be healthy. And a lot of the problems can correct themselves. Although I did use a whole bottle of Laguna liquid concentrated pond peat in the spring because it's good for everything. It darkens the water for a few days, but it's a natural fungicide. It's good for the pond, it's good for the plants, it's good for the ecosystem. And sometimes I've found the least you do, the better off the fish are. So you can see they all did well after the extra long cold winter we had. I've got the balls spinning. This hose, sometimes I just let it drip slowly. Drip, drip, drip. And it slowly adds water while I'm at work. And here are the other fish. And look at how red those goldfish are. They're very red. When you leave them outside, their colors become beautiful. And there's a big, giant black koi in there. It's hard to catch, and he knows he's hard to catch. He's right there somewhere. It's hard to see. He's a big monster. That's a pretty koi right there. And he's not supposed to be there, but he's really pretty. He got down through the stream, but I've blocked the stream off with rocks now. So he can't, no more koi can come down to the goldfish pond. Because once they get in here, it's hard to get them out. And look at how beautiful the yellow flag is blooming. I was going to take these racks down, but the big blue heron flew over the other day. So, and I haven't got all the strings up just yet. This is aquatic mint shoots. I don't know if I want it here or not. Because I'm trying to grow the moss here on the lava rock. Alright? And then I'll take this down soon. But once I fix all the strings, like I have to fix these strings, they're all beat up, and get them crisscrossing above the pond, high above my head, and that blocks the big blue heron from landing. There's a bunch of minnows and goldfish down there. And some tulips are starting to come up. I got to clean out the gazebo. And other things are coming. The yellow flag, I never took the dead stuff down. Where did it go? just like at the river. Where did it go? You can still see some of it, but it just turns into part of the marsh. And actually this yellow flag here, it floats, okay? It floats in almost 3 feet of water, 2.5 feet of water, maybe close to 3. And it's such a big marsh, it just stays there. Like, I hack away pieces at the end. I put the stick here last year to stop it because it wants to take over the whole pond. Yeah, that yellow flag I got in 1991. It was in a tiny pot. It bust through the pot the next year, and it's just a monster. And I peeled away the pot. I couldn't see any soil. I stuck it back in the pond. The ponds were a little bit different. I had a collection of like 4 little ponds. It was a collection of 5 ponds altogether, and I changed them over the years. But they always run. Now it's 4 bigger ponds that run roughly the same. So yeah, and I clean the filters. That's all I do. I clean the filters. I don't disturb the water. I don't take the pond apart to clean it. That's incorrect, because you damage the ecosystem and you stress the fish out moving them. But like if you have ponds like this, you can flow fresh water through and out down through the bottom pond. And because they're always flowing, most of the waste goes down, 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 down to the yellow flag, which is growing. So the yellow flag is a very powerful cleaner for photosynthesis filtration. It's the best filter. I only have simple filters, and my water's always crystal clear. And it's just like easy biofilters I've shown you on my last video. There's nothing special about my filters. Oh, and I have one Pond Max here. It ran all winter. I cleaned it out, just did turn the hose here, and hook up another hose to the garden, and a bunch of waste came out. Yeah, so all I do is I clean the filters and add fresh water. And that's all I've done since 1991. And I've never had a UV sterilizer. I've never needed one. In the beginning, I added beneficial bacteria, lots of it, like 20 some years ago. And now the pond, and because I have a series of ponds, like when I had to pull the liner in that pond a couple years ago, last year I pulled the liner in that pond because it was like 27 years old, and I replaced it. But because the other ponds still have a good colony of bacteria, it quickly recolonized everything, right? Because you want your pond to be like a stomach. Everything should be digesting like a healthy stomach, so that you don't get ammonia and a lot of bad gases. Now, if you're constantly taking your pond apart and cleaning it, and it's not, you don't allow it to, get a good ecosystem going, then you end up with a garbage can effect where nothing is digesting and everything becomes ammonious, right? And you can tell looking at some water, it has a funny color, like in those big koi tanks where they don't have any plants and the water isn't living, and you don't have a nice layer of thin algae. Like, you see how the algae is very small in the ponds here. I don't have a lot of it. It just makes like basically, there's the big old koi. These two here are like since 1991 or 2, like they're very old. They were teeny little fish when I first got them. But yeah, so you want your pond to be natural. You want to have natural hardy pond plants such as sedges, like the grasses you can see coming back there, and the powerful yellow flag, because they come up early in the spring, unlike the tropicals, which are not hardy. They take a long time to get going. And over in the marsh there, you can see there's aquatic mint coming up. They've really picked that marsh part. But it's like a weed and it grows really fast. There's a bulrush in there and some aquatic mint that I've had since 1991. Yeah, so I just want to show you everything's coming nice. It's a little chillier today. I fed the fish yesterday and the day before. They were so hungry. I gave them their favorite dog food. It's made right here in Alberta. That's all they've ever eaten. It's fresh, grain-free dog food. And it's actually the puppy chow, the high fat, because they have to go through like long winters. He's actually turned out to be a pretty koi, that black and white one. I like him. I like them all. And they've really grown. So, like these ones were really tiny. That one was my sister Bev's, I think. And, not this one. This one was mine. I can't remember. I think that butterfly koi down there was my sister's when she gave them to me a few years ago. But they really are growing big. I don't know how. Okay, they stay out here for 6 months in the winter and come out looking bigger every year. So that's all I can tell you. And there's that koi. He's half koi, half goldfish. I don't think you can see him because it's too much. There's not direct sun this morning because it's cloudy. But yeah, I just wanted to show you how everything's coming along. Take a look. I've got some, actually finally leaves are coming out. And I still have the front yard to do. Please forgive me. I have been working like hard at work. But I'm going to get it done on the weekend. It's going to be nice. There's this beautiful tank here. Yeah, because I have the weekend off. So that is a quick look at today in Canada.